Okay. This is the audio commentary of Reflections of Colorado, which is a documentary I made back in July of 2004. We'll see the date here in a minute. Let's see here. I think it must have already said it. But so anyway, at this time I I only had my son Brendan. He was probably 1 year old, just about to be one, and I'm getting packed up here. This is the night before Papa came and picked me up. And I decided to do something kind of cool here with audio, which is I decided to make it to where, I'm looking through photographs of, old trips, and then when I watch these old trips, I hear all the voices from the past,
Yeah.
and that's what happens here coming up. These are all voices from all the way from 86 trip on to 96 trip, like 4 or 5 different trips. And the audio is from a movie called Edward Scissorhands. So so I got my computer, you see behind me, in March of 2004. Oh, it is July. It's July. Sunday, July something. Can't see it. But I got my computer in March of 2004. This is July of 2004. So I had barely just even got going on my computer.
Yeah.
8 years since I've been to Colorado, so I'm very excited. Oh, who is that?
Paul.
I had my backlight turned on accident here. Hey, Papa. You ready to go to Colorado? Yeah. All right, let's go.
Well, we're gone.
All right. Here goes the two guys to Colorado,
Yeah.
huh? Two son of guns. Hey, Papa. What is that up there on that mountain? Dinosaur? Where's I thought dinosaurs were extinct. Where's that located at? It's over by Thomas, isn't it?
What?
That dinosaur?
Oh, it's up
Did you like your dinner?
in Texas.
What'd you eat? Oh, it's that far up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a cheeseburger, and I also ate Papa's hamburger because he wanted a chicken fried steak, and Papa made me eat every bite of both of them. So, plus my French fries. So I could barely fit in the truck. So where are we at, Papa? So we just ate at that restaurant
Yeah.
that you like up there at Boise City.
Yeah.
Now this park we're driving through, the following year, 2005 trip, we actually stayed there.
Yeah.
Black Mesa State Park. And this here is our tea break. So, which is nice to pull off side of the road and just
Yeah.
have a glass of tea.
Yeah.
I think that's that same spot where you went down a hill and
use a restroom.
Yeah.
And a couple of years later. Oh, I think it's that same year that our sugar bowl fell inside of there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where we at, Papa?
Colorado.
Alright. $52 degrees. It's 52 degrees outside.
That night I was thinking about it a bit higher than
And tell everyone we were going to stay somewhere else. Tell them.
We went up there. We're
Fence.
planned on going. We'd have froze to death.
Because the temperature was pretty cold right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is also, and we're at our first campsite.
See how it goes, huh?
A lot of people there. That's where we had to set our tent up in the rocks.
Yeah.
Looks like you got some neighbors.
A lot of neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yep. That was interesting.
See that rabbit?
We saw that rabbit.
See Papa?
You're the shits.
Is it cold?
Yeah, I don't even think Papa knew I had the camera on. Did you?
This is our tent.
You always had it on.
I think it's getting close, 10 o'clock, you know. Well, I guess we'll see how the night went in the morning, right?
Couldn't get a zipper on his sleep
Yeah.
bag. This is
Yeah, Papa.
for everyone out there who's seen this documentary. It spans 2 discs. It's an hour per disc, because at that time I could only put an hour on each disc. With this, I used a program called it's a Sony Vegas program, and I went through various programs. Actually, these 3 trips we're going to watch, I used 3 different editing softwares.
Yeah.
You know, but this one was the first software I started using.
You what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're sitting there looking at
This,
the man over there?
this is where I went out to get some
What's he doing?
shots of nature, and I thought I'd get this wide shot of Pawpaw, and he looked over at me, and I came back, and he said, I thought you were some stranger over there with a camera. This was a good breakfast here.
Yeah.
So anyway, this edit is actually an hour long. I actually trimmed a lot of the fat off, which is, you know, because it was the first project I really put together on the computer. So there's a lot of things that I did then that I wouldn't do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I thought about doing is, there they are. What I thought about doing was cutting all 3 trips into, like, you know, 2-3 hours long, and me and Papa doing a commentary on it. Well, when I got to the next trip, the 2005 trip, which is on the road again, I had a hell of a time cutting it, because there was just, I had gotten that much better in the 2005 trip on putting together things that it was just so hard to cut anything out, to make it shorter. So what I did is I made a shorter version of this, but the other 2, when we watch those pop off, they're going to be the original length.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's a deer.
What was that? Huh? What was that? Yeah, I think that was a deer.
I don't know.
We're gonna stay down there?
Yeah. Well, we're going to stay up in the mountains.
So our first night was gonna be there.
That's pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, Bud, but
Stop for another tea break. South Fork, Colorado. That's a nice place.
A lot better than it used to be.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they built a little to it, and it's
Hey, Papa,
more people around there now.
how much
Oh.
was the ice?
$1.75.
For a bag?
Yeah,
One bag.
one bag.
Golly. Let's hope that rain don't hit us.
It did. It rained quite a bit that trip, didn't it?
Yeah.
What's this spot, Papa?
Yeah. Now, this is a good time for me to explain really what I was trying to do. In the 2002 trip with me and Jamie, Papa was actually going to go with us that year, but he got sick and he couldn't go with us. So me and Jamie went by ourselves. Well, then I ended up getting sick up there, and I ended up coming home early. But what I was trying to do with that trip was real similar to what I ended up doing with this 2004 trip. I was wanting to go back and revisit a lot of the spots that Papa took me, on the older trips. And what I was going to do was plug in the old video on the corner of the screen to kind of tie in. That's why it's called Reflections of Colorado, because it's reflecting the older trips as well. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't think it really works as well as what I had hoped it would. I don't know. I don't know if people enjoyed that or not. I mean, I think it's nice, but I think in a way it detracts from what's going on here, on this trip. So, in other trips I didn't do that, but I think it's a nice look though. I mean, and then this we ended up using this. I think the next couple of years, this area here, we camped the same spot.
We didn't stay in that camp.
Huh?
We didn't stay in that camp. Went down to the other one. Do you remember?
Down to the. No, that was the camp.
Not the one we was up there looking around in. We couldn't find no good spot.
Oh, earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah, we actually went up to that lake, and I cut a lot of stuff out in that. In this version we're watching here, I cut a lot out. And this is actually after we set up camp. Up above this stream here is where we set up our camp, and I decided to go down and get some shots, and this is something like what I was telling you about earlier, which is, I wanted to kind of have a reminiscent kind of feel to this trip where, I'm thinking of old trips and stuff like that. And I think originally I was going to put like flashes of video from the other trips and stuff like that, but I didn't do it. At this point I was excited about having the computer and excited about being able to put video together,
Yeah.
that I shot a lot of this stuff here. I was learning. It was a learning experience.
Well, you shot enough. You ought to. God, you was filming all the time.
Yeah. It's pretty stuff though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Papa, I think I did bug him by filming, but I think the end result, I think he always likes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just drive him crazy while I do it. That's the thing. Because, let's see, shoot, Papa, let's see, this is, the real version of this is 2 hours long, and shoot, how much do you think I filmed? Probably about 4 hours, probably,
Or 10.
And this is me trying to act goofy. Get Papa to laugh. Act like a wild Indian. So. I think this is the only year I brought my guitar. Was this trip
Yeah.
in recent years. Back then I was a little better than I am. I'm getting kind of rusty. I haven't really been playing like I should. So if I'm playing the guitar, Papa, who's holding the camera here?
Well,
See, listen. I took the audio in the computer. I took the audio and put on that shot.
yeah.
Me playing the guitar. So that's how I did that. And you hear the crickets in the background?
Okay.
There wasn't crickets. I added that.
What was that? Huh? Huh? Oh, it sounded like something else.
Papa sounded like Papa farted, but he said it was his foot.
About ready to go to bed pretty quick.
I think he got kind of cool that night too.
Okay, guys. I want to show you
Oh yeah,
our bathroom.
this little bathroom here was right up from our camp, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That year?
Yeah.
I actually had a zoomed in shot there, but I thought I'd make people sick, so I took I took it out. Pawpaw covered up with a sleeping bag and a quilt that night. It got a little chilly, but it wasn't our coldest night. Our coldest night's coming up at near Lake City over there.
Yeah.
That was our coldest night.
Well, good night, Papa. Love you.
July 26th. And this is, I did a lot of shots like this, panning shots. This shot turned out pretty good, but the tripod I had kind of sucked back then. Doesn't that look good? I think it really was my goal, and really every trip I've done has been my goal, is to really, when the audience sits down to watch these, I really want them to feel like they're along with us. That was always my goal. Because one of the things, when you watch some of the older trips, one day, Papa might get the camera out, next day he might not. That's just how it is. So there's a lot of cutting around, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
But with this, you get a day-by-day action, And yeah, this is actually when me and Jamie went down. We were dating at the time. We weren't even married yet. And I was surprised her parents let her go. She was 18, and I was 22. So, and this is when we're going sightseeing at Summitville Mine.
Yeah.
Me and the camera.
Yeah.
Think that bus way is, we want to stop?
Oh, you could have.
That's a nice little drive through there, isn't it? I like it. Going up that way.
I've been up there several times.
There's a deer. That's pretty high, isn't it, up there?
Top of that mountain.
Now this montage here, it's actually like 4 or 5 minutes long on the actual version of this documentary. But I cut it down. There's Papa way down there. You see his truck?
Yeah.
He stayed down there, and I think he made him a glass of tea, and I finally came down off there. What?
That's the day it snowed.
Yep. I finally came down just as it started to rain.
Yeah.
And you were like, "We're gonna get stuck up here, boy." He was waiting on me. So yeah, I cut out of that sooner than what it really does. And this is us heading back, and it's sleeting there. Looks like a little bit.
Snowed.
Yeah, there's snow. That was kind of neat. And then we ended up getting back down to camp, and it was hot again. That was interesting.
That's where I like to burn that fill station up.
Yeah, tell everyone about that. I think we're about to come to that. Huh?
Huh?
Tell everybody about it.
Oh, well, you went in to pay for the gas, and I lit me a cigarette.
While you were pumping the gas? Were
No,
you pumping? No.
no.
I pumped the gas.
Yeah.
I pumped the gas. I went in and paid. You got out and was waiting on me.
I was standing in the back of the pickup
Yeah.
smoking, and this guy come over and got on to me. Smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid devil.
I got a fire going. Papa look over at me and he'd be like, "Why don't we get a fire going?" I'm like, "All right, let's." And that wolf call I added with the computer. So really, I really view this documentary as my first big project on the computer. I mean, I think I had done like 5-minute little short things on the computer just for practice, but this is my first, 2-hour long project, which back then it was a long time.
Alright, you make it. Did you fall? Whoa, watch out for the flash.
And I had this idea of putting the flashlight up in this little screen. Yeah, you can see it right there. And it fell on me. What'd you think about sleeping in the tent, Papa?
Oh, I don't know. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, I think we started staying in the pickup
Yeah.
either the next year or the year after that. And that's me just being goofy.
Make sure the bed bug's not bite, Papa. Love you.
Yeah, Papa actually told me that the night before, I think. I was going to bed, and he said, "Make sure those bed bugs don't bite you." And Papa's itching to get that tent down. He's just itching, and here I am just talking and blabbing.
Yeah.
Didn't take long, did it?
I got a tent out there that ain't ever been put up.
Oh, really?
Got it last year.
Me and Jamie stopped right there 2 years ago. At the gas station. Got some gas.
Yeah, and see, here I am trying to use old footage. They got footage from '86 there, that kind of same area. This is us at a Creed mine. And I cut some of this down too. And you notice it changes from widescreen to full screen.
Yeah.
Like right here, it's full screen. You don't see the bars on the top and the bottom. What I did is I purposely switched to full screen any time we were in the pickup, because in full screen mode it had steady cam, to make it where it wasn't so shaky. But the next year I liked the widescreen so much that I just stuck with the widescreen mode the whole time, and ever since that's all I record on now is widescreen format,
It's kind of pretty.
because you could frame your shots a lot better with widescreen, I think.
Do what?
So you drove down there, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. Had a picnic down there by that
Oh.
water.
Oh wow.
Hey, Papa.
Yeah, this is a neat place too.
There's a spot right down here.
So you watch Papa flip me off here. Me and Michael.
Ah,
No.
you hear that?
It looked like it, but yeah, he didn't. There's that waterfall. That's neat. It was kind of cool that trip. We both got our
Yeah.
jackets on. And
Well, it's out to the Papa's spot. I gotta take care of some business, so I just showing you guys, you know, this is rough. You know, take crap, you guys take crap out here, so I gotta get to it. I got turtle head sticking out.
you got a turtle head sticking out.
Can't see much of nothing.
Yeah, I remember this stuff right here irritated Papa.
Oh man, on it.
You know, this is irritating, this
We went and collected firewood. and
nasty
had
rain.
to tie a piece of the tin on it.
Yeah, I remember that firewood. You pull off the side of the road, we got out and where there was a lot of dead
Yeah.
trees, we went and
Yeah.
picked some up.
Oh yeah, we did it.
Got them old big pieces that wouldn't burn.
Oh, yeah, they just smoked up. And this is
It'll be 10 years ago I climbed this.
let's see, I was 15 in that shot in the lower right hand corner. And that same, I was on top of that roof there.
1995.
It's probably some park ranger didn't come up.
Really?
This Pawpaw primping. I actually got him primping. Oh man, this trip. Pawpaw, you've got to tell people about the primping. About. Yeah. See, I've got hair there. If you notice, I've actually got hair.
Yeah.
So when I wake up in the mornings, man, I've got to wash my hair, you know, and brush my teeth and all that. If you notice, the next years, I cut my hair off.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to have to hear about primping and stuff.
Get that damn primping when you go camping.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I learned that though, huh? And this, on the lower right here, that's me and Michael, and this not the same camp, but the same area. That was a neat shot with that smoke going through those
Yeah.
sun rays.
Yeah.
Pretty though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we had the moon kind of coming up above the horizon there. It was really cool. And this is the fire. We had it going pretty good about that time, but it got really, really cold. I remember that night our backs were just frozen. Our front half of our bodies were warm because of the fire, but the back half was
Yeah.
cold. This night right here ended up being our coldest night, didn't it?
Yeah.
This is me getting ready to go to bed. I got my gloves and jacket on. Papa's even got his jacket on. That's when you know it's cold. Yeah, this is the next morning. I woke up and Pawpaw was already in the pickup with the heater on. You can kind of tell there that I just washed my hair too. Yeah, we thought we left the tent stakes. Papa was just telling me, well, too bad. Too bad. Well, get in here. Chocolate milk. This is our chocolate milk break, which was nice too.
Yeah, I'll get my cup.
This is at just a roadside stop, isn't it?
Huh?
This is at some roadside stop in between, yeah.
That's it. Hooray.
Yep. We ended up staying here again, I think.
Stayed that where that wall is.
Yep.
Brendan fell off from.
Yeah, a couple of years later, Brendan, we looked over and Brendan was playing on it. We looked over and he was just on the ground. He fell off of it. He bounced back up though. Chef Epperly. Isn't that right?
Yeah. You're gonna do the cooking this time.
I know.
I think it's gonna be cold. I think it's gonna be cold tonight.
Yep, here we are. Now that was this is into the disc 2. This is stuff that's off of disc 2 of the Reflections DVD set. Now we're leaving camp. We're I remember when we got down here to use the restroom, we had to wait a while. There was a line. This is Silverton, a neat little town. And I cut some of this some of this stuff down too. It turned out this montage turned out pretty good though. I liked it. What we missed there is just there's some shots of that old train behind the ticket. What do you call that?
Depot agent.
Yeah, behind the depot. I took some shots of, but I cut all that out, and now we're into when the train finally showed up. And what I did is, this is the first time I'd done this on this trip here, was I had my camera on a tripod here. Pawpaw had his camera on the other side. And you can see his shot right there, the same shot. So you got 2 shots in one here. Which I at the time I thought was just so cool, to be able to have 2 shots in one like that. See, there he is, standing right over there. And that's shots of Silverton back in '86. And there's what's that guy's name? Tom or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He actually let us get on the little car there. I think he thought we were paying customers though. We weren't. I think he thought we were riding the train. What would really be neat is to be able to ride along with him.
Yeah. Remember we saw him down in
Rockwood.
Rockwood.
Mm-hmm.
Went through.
Yeah, that same day, later that day,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw him.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Yeah, we didn't ride the train that year.
I've only rode that train once. Rode that other one several times.
Which one do you prefer? The Silverton line or the Chama line?
Oh, it don't make no difference.
They're all nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
about the same.
And now, see, I actually climbed up on this ridge here and got this shot you see here. And Richie had told me when he was watching this that if I actually crawled on the other side, I could have got a better shot. And then Pawpaw is standing with my other camera on the tripod down there. So, this is us. We went to the KOA. This version moves a lot quicker, don't it?
Yeah,
It moves a lot quicker.
that's where we found that little bitty old camping spot.
I know. Our pickup barely fit into it. I don't know how they expect you to camp there. They had a nice full moon. That wasn't bad. I remember. I wish we would have slept how we, did the few years after this, few trips after this, which is, Papa always slept in the front, and I always slept in the back. But we didn't do that because we didn't have that deal back in the back, didn't we? At that time, that's what it was. So we slept sitting in our chairs, which wasn't the best position, but it wasn't bad.
No.
I remember I took my socks off because I don't like sleeping with my socks and my feet got cold there.
That's getting pretty late. July 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I have one up there in August.
Yeah.
Shama.
Yep, now we're in Chama. Yeah, this montage I really like. I think it's the best montage out of all of them I did on this trip. Anyway, I think. Well, there's another one I do here in a little bit where I got a guy singing,
Yeah.
playing the guitar and singing. I really liked it too. Then we ended up going down, and this is a good camp. Good camp here.
Yeah, it is.
The kids really like to go down and go play in the river. This is the spot we didn't get that spot the last trip we went up. Someone else had it. There's the 07 trip. I haven't put together yet.
That's where assholes
Yeah.
surprised us.
Yeah, they sure did. What, isn't that luck though?
Huh?
That's just luck.
I thought I saw it pickup coming. I thought it was a pickup and a cow trailer.
Yeah.
And it was them.
I know that's just I don't think they don't really come across well in the documentary, but we were just sitting there just watching for the train to go by, and then they just drove past. I mean, that's just like
They
a needle.
come up and stop.
I know. Well, yeah, they came up and stopped. I mean, it was just like a needle in a haystack.
I didn't know he was anywhere in Colorado.
I know. He wasn't. I guess he told Papa he wasn't going to be able to go, and then he ended up going. Richie's shirt. This is the next morning, cooking breakfast. She can cook some breakfast, huh?
Yeah. Richard's
That's
always
good.
always doing something.
Oh yeah.
Our pilots have a hard time staying on the road.
That bear. That's funny. This was neat. I wish I would have sat there longer and got him singing, actually.
Yeah, no. It's awesome.
I rode that train all the way through,
Yeah.
from Shama to Anita.
Oh, wow. Long trip.
Took all day. Rode back on the bus.
Now this is kind of what you'll see in the following year, the 2005 trip I tried to do, which is I had the two cameras and I decided to have Colby have his camera and then me have my camera. And I'm talking about some asshole that didn't like me filming in front of him. But yeah, see, so you can see there that Colby, I ended up calling it Colby Cam, and he had his own camera. See, and so I ended up the next year I ended up making a show out of it. You know, he had his own little show, and then it lasted up until he fell in the water with my camera. You remember that?
Yeah.
And this is Richie's trying to debate whether or not to put his camera under the under the track there to get this shot. And for a split second, we actually thought it got crushed. And Colby zooms on it right here. You can see it down there. And you can see the track, you can see it kind of bouncing around where, you know, it could have easily got smashed.
Did you get it? Oh, let's check it out.
It's okay. Now I'm gonna try it with my camera. And what happened was, me and Colby were setting the camera up, and then all of a sudden, here comes a train around the corner. It was further ahead than what we had thought. So there was a lot of water along the edge of the. There was, there was only a certain path you could take to get back to where you were up on the hill, because it was like full water on the sides. Well, me and Colby ran right through the water because we were trying to get away from the train.
We heard this noise, and we thought it was a jet flying over. We look over, and the train's coming.
So we run off, and look at that. Look out, all muddy. I mean, our shoes are just, we're going to have to figure This is a wicked lot of crap. Get one shot, but I think it's worth it. All of a sudden, it's like, shit! We start running and we go right through a dang pothole. Train. Good shot, yeah. In the middle of the track. Yeah.
Now we're back at camp. I think this is our longest trip in recent years, for me anyway. I mean, I think we stayed 9 days. We stayed 9 days that year. I think the other years we stayed like 6, 7, and 8 days. I think it's what we ended up staying the other years. It'd be nice to be sitting up there right now.
Be
Huh.
kind of cold.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is Colby explaining about, I guess Corbin's flip-flop got sucked up by the river, and he threw it. He was trying to throw it to him or something, and then he ended up throwing it into the river instead. Then Papa was about to come over and say, "Now tell me what happened."
Papa's cool.
Okay. At what point did you realize you shouldn't have driven? That's what I said. At that point, you realized that was not a good choice.
That's a good family.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is us doing our Scott impersonation.
He saw that.
I know he did. I thought he was gonna be mad at us. He actually laughed at it though.
Yeah.
Aw. Those are cute.
He's an idiot, you see.
You see?
You think so? How about you guys?
Well, there's something out there. It's fairly large.
We've been out here talking for a while, and we all of a sudden we go to bed and we hear something, right? And it's out
There's
here
bears
somewhere in the
there.
woods.
Oh yeah, I imagine there
You
is.
saw them tracks?
Yep. Yeah, there's tracks up on the cement. That one of the, I think the
Yeah.
next year, it was the near after, the park ranger came by and told us about. They just laid some cement and a bear walked through it. August 1st, we're heading out. We're going back home here.
Well, we think. Hey Richie, tell everybody if the bear got the trash or not last night. Oh, yeah.
Bear
That
didn't
sucks.
get it.
Next time.
Yeah, they had saw a bear at
He wanted to burn all the wood.
Fun Valley. He was telling us about it.
Yeah.
A bear came up,
Well, so much for Camp number
got
6.
people's trash.
I'll come back next year. Stay in the same spot.
Camp number 6. We changed camp 6 times that year. That's a lot. This is Roll Gorge. What is it? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Bridge. Really neat. You know, I've actually seen a few movies that's been filmed.
I saw it on television here the other day.
Did you?
That bridge.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I was watching a movie one day and I was like, hey, there's that bridge. So Hollywood's been there. It's in New Mexico. Yeah. This is me and Richie decided to hawk boogers off the edge. Yeah. There's me and Jamie went a couple years before that. Look how cute she is. Oh, there it goes. That was fun. I had a good time doing that. Typically, I mean, people were ready to get home. They really don't want to. We really don't stop there a lot, do we?
No. I've stopped there several times.
Back in the day, in the 80s, or before that probably, you used to come up this way to begin with, at the start of the trip,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah.
So he would be coming through this way on his way up to Colorado. But typically, nowadays, we will come this way on our way home. Kind of make a loop, essentially what we do. Starting at South Fork all the way around to Chama, then back home. It was a good trip. I enjoyed it. It was a nice surprise having Richie and his family show up. They really,
That really surprised me.
I know, they really livened things up, boy. I think about that time we were about ready to go home, and then they showed up and kind of got us excited again, you know, about being up there. What is this, Papa?
That old log.
Yeah, Papa took me there up on my first trip. See, we were actually going up towards Colorado
Yeah.
in '86 there, and Papa stopped there, and on the way home I told Papa, I said, hey, it'd mean a lot if I could actually stop by and see this log.
Old log been there many years.
And Papa told me, I don't even know if that log's still there. And sure enough, we pulled off the side there, and there it was.
Been there for years.
The parking isn't as good, though.
No,
Papa told me.
they ruined that.
Yeah, this is what I was giving Papa all our time about smoking at the pump. We're heading home. Oklahoma. Now we're in almost to Weatherford. Right there. And I remember Teresa said she'd watch this and said, how come you didn't get no shots of Brendan, when you got home? Well, the thing is if you notice, I walk up to the door. Well, the house was a total wreck. I mean, I just see there's diapers out in the in that plastic bag, so I decided to cut all that out, but I've got it on tape, and eventually, someday I'm gonna go ahead and go through and put together a deleted scenes,
Yeah.
someday. So I'll go through that tape again. But well, anyway, Papa, let's go to the next trip. You ready?
Okay.